Welcome back to Vedic Wisdom, the podcast where we explore timeless Indian epics and their deep psychological lessons for modern life. I'm your host Lalitha Murali, and today I'm thrilled to have with us a very special guest, Counselling Psychologist Ms. Arthy Sriram. Welcome to the podcast, Arthy, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Lalitha, for having me. I'm excited to dive into the Ramayana and explore the human emotions and psychology behind these powerful stories.
Absolutely, Arthy. I have prepared some questions around key themes from the Ramayana that I think our listeners will love. So, I want to know from you, why do we turn to texts like Ramayana when talking about mental health or emotional wisdom in today's times?
The Ramayana is more than a religious or cultural epic. It's a psychological map of human experience. Through its characters and stories, we see emotional struggles, decisions, values, and relationships that mirror what we all go through. It helps us reflect, grow, and heal, especially when we read it through a psychological lens.
And how does Vedic Wisdom as a podcast aim to approach these scriptures differently?
This podcast offers a bridge between ancient wisdom and today's emotional challenges. Rather than only focusing on the events of the epics, Vedic Wisdom explores the inner worlds of the characters, their thoughts, fears, strengths, and flaws. It's about making sacred stories speak to our present day inner lives.
Thank you for that. Let's move into today's themes from the Ramayana and explore how they reflect the psychology of emotions, relationships, and inner strength. First, how does Rama show patience during his exile? And what can we learn about staying calm in tough times?
Rama accepts his 14-year exile without anger or resistance, showing immense emotional regulation. This moment, right after Dasharatha announces the exile, teaches us that staying calm during unexpected hardship helps reduce anxiety. Rama's response reminds us that composure and value-based living are powerful tools for resilience.
So beautiful, Arthy. Now, what does Sita's quiet strength teach us about the hidden emotional work many people do so in relationships?
Sita's unwavering support of Rama throughout the exile, especially in the forest and later in the captivity at Ashokavatika, reflects deep emotional labor. She carries her pain silently, reminding us that many people hold invisible burdens. Recognizing and sharing emotional work builds more balanced, compassionate relationships.
Why is Lakshmana's loyalty to Rama so powerful, and what can it teach us about sibling bonds in today's world?
When Lakshmana insists on joining Rama in exile, despite no obligation to do so, we see how sibling love can offer emotional safety. His loyalty throughout the exile, including protecting Sita and Rama in the forest, shows the strength found in consistent, supporting sibling relationships during life storms. Siblings can be key sources of support, helping us handle stress and challenges. Good sibling connections aren't just about duty, they are about being emotionally present, showing up and standing by each other through life's ups and downs.
We've all heard about Hanuman's role and support in the Ramayana. Why is a supportive friendship so important?
Hanuman was of great support to Rama. Hanuman's journey to Lanka to find Sita is an act of pure devotion and emotional support. His strength uplifts Rama during despair. This shows how a supportive friend can offer not just help but also hope, especially when we feel powerless. Even having one trusted friend can boost emotional health and remind us that we don't have to carry life's burdens alone. Friendship is a powerful pillar in healing.
This question is about ego and pride. So, what can we learn from Ravana's ego and about the dangers of pride?
Oh, so much to learn from Ravana. Ravana refuses to return Sita even when advised by his own brother Vibhishana. His ego blinds him to reason, leading to his downfall. Psychologically, unchecked pride distorts judgment and destroys relationship. Self-awareness helps us stay grounded and avoid making choices driven by dominance or delusion.
What does Kaikeyi's quick decision teach us about? That is, thinking before we act.
Many times, yes, we become very impulsive. We do not think before we act. Kaikeyi is one such example. Kaikeyi's impulsive demand to exile Rama, manipulated by Manthara, results in heartbreak for her and her family. This decision, made in a moment of confusion and fear, reflects how acting from emotional reactivity causes long-term pain. Acting from anger or fear bypasses reflection. Mindfulness, pausing, thinking, weighing consequences, helps us make wiser, more balanced choices that align with our deeper values, not just temporary feelings.
How do characters like Bharata find inner peace despite the family conflict?
Bharata, devastated by his mother's actions, refuses the throne and lives as a caretaker of Rama's sandals. He shows that peace comes from aligning with one's values even in emotional chaos. Bharata finds peace by accepting painful truths and acting with integrity. Inner peace doesn't come from controlling what happens. It comes from aligning behavior with values. Acceptance, forgiveness, and focusing on what we can control, not what we can't, are key tools for peace. His grace teaches us that choosing integrity over resentment is a path to personal peace.
Oh, this question is something we all have in our mind. Why does doing the right thing sometimes cause pain for Rama? And what is that?
Rama's journey shows that doing the right thing can involve sacrifice and emotional pain. Psychologically, balancing duty and personal well-being is tough. It's okay to acknowledge pain and seek support while fulfilling responsibilities. Strength doesn't mean ignoring our feelings as well. Yet recognizing and naming the pain while staying true to one's ethics builds inner strength.
Arthy, we have also heard about Rama and Sugriva's friendship. Now, what do we learn from that friendship about trust and teamwork?
Rama helps Sugriva reclaim his kingdom, and in return Sugriva supports Rama in the search for Sita. This exchange of trust and teamwork shows that collaboration and loyalty can carry us through our toughest trials. Strong bonds form when we uplift each other with sincerity and commitment.
And finally, how does Dasharatha's sacrifice show the emotional cost of hard choices?
Dasharatha chooses to honor his promise to Kaikeyi, even though it means sending away his beloved son. He dies heartbroken, showing that doing the right thing can come with grief. Acknowledging emotional pain tied to our value-based decisions allows us to process, heal, honor both love and duty. Acknowledging this pain instead of suppressing it allows us to heal and helps us make peace with past decisions.
Thank you so much, Arthy, for sharing such thoughtful insights with us today. And it's been truly eye-opening to see how the Ramayana's lessons connect so deeply to our emotional lives today.
Thank you, Lalitha. It's been wonderful exploring these stories along with you. Thank you for having me on this thoughtful podcast. It's been truly meaningful to reflect on the Ramayana through the lens of psychology. To our listeners, ancient stories like these aren't just tales from the past, they are reflections of us. Every emotion, every decision, every relationship in the Ramayana holds something we can recognize in ourselves today. If there's one thing I'd say, it's this. Healing often begins not by fixing things, but by understanding them. And these texts help us do exactly that. So take your time, be kind to your inner world, and don't be afraid to revisit stories that raised us. They have more to teach than we often realize.
And thank you so much, dear listeners, for joining us on this wonderful episode on Vedic Wisdom today. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe and share it with someone who might need these timeless insights. Until next time, take care, stay mindful, and keep reflecting on the wisdom within you.